This film looks in brief at how sharing best practice can be used as a key driver for reducing in-school variation. At South Dartmoor Community College, one of the English teachers is giving a seminar for the ICT department on Socratic dialogue.
Dialogic teaching is a way that we feel we can enable students to use talk to deepen their learning and their understanding.
A key to raising standards here has been the sharing of best practice between departments.
We have a team approach here, and that's the only way I think that you can actually do this. So there has to be an openness, it has to be a sense that we're learning together, and to say to staff that it's not threatening to learn from your colleagues, and actually it isn't. And there's a greater credibility if you work with colleagues, peers in your own school, than there is perhaps in working with people elsewhere.
Socratic dialogue involves asking questions that require evidence-based answers. It's a technique that may help encourage better classroom discussions in ICT.
You set up a dialogic discussion with the students and the teacher is not allowed to say anything, which I think for all teachers actually is incredibly difficult, because what we always feel that we have to do is whenever a student makes a point, we have to then praise and build on that point and try and sort of deepen their understanding. And this is really about them deepening their own understanding.
The ICT teachers are asked to practice this technique themselves by comparing two poems.
I preferred this one purely because it's amusing, it's short, and this one, unfortunately, I tailed off about here because it just didn't really appeal to me very much.
That one was easier to understand than this one was. This one was a lot more complicated, I thought. It was harder to understand what he was talking about.
So how could this technique be used in ICT lessons?
So Key Stage 4, when we look at ICT, effects of ICT on society, normally we kind of have a look how ICT has affected society in different ways, but you could change it and say a question, for example, has ICT affected society in a positive way? And then you would have different viewpoints, and actually they would brainstorm lots of the different ideas.
At the beginning of their coursework, to actually look at the brief, as it were, and actually get them all talking over it, you know, it's questions that explore alternative views, because we always say, right, we're going to be doing ABC. They can look at it and actually delve deeper into it and get a greater understanding of what's involved.
I don't think we lay out our room particularly well to have this type of discussion.
That's the big issue,
but
isn't it?
if we adopted this approach, then we would perhaps in each room or have somewhere where you could actually do a discussion of this nature.
It's a clear, structured format, Socratic and dialogic talk. It gives teachers the skills they need to actually get children talking in classrooms. When it was used a few months ago by our PE and science staff, they felt very much more confident about encouraging group discussion than they had done previously.